Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is the 31st of August 2018, and what on the TV they're calling the official end of summer in the UK. I like how they use the word the official end of summer as if it's some date that you can actually say is official. How do you know when summer's ending or not? Yeah, but that's how, it's another one of those lies in plain sight, isn't it, that we all believe in. So on Sky News they were talking about, I'm sure on other media outlets as well, they were talking about the 10p plastic bag, because originally they brought in the 5p plastic bag, now they want to double it to 10p. I don't know who actually makes the money out of the plastic bags. I know that obviously you pay, when you go into Tesco's or Asda or Sainsbury's or whoever you go into, you give them the money, but I don't know, do they pocket the money, or does that money have to go to the government or to some, because they were talking about how the money had gone to lots of charities. No, I don't know, maybe it's supermarkets have decided that with that money they're going to give it to charity, I don't know. But I don't know who it is who actually sets the price. I'm assuming it's the government, but I don't know why they would set the price for it, but maybe it's one of those laws that traders have to follow. But the thing I was thinking, that they had an interview and they had the person from Friends of the Earth, and they were pointing out a very valid fact that there's more plastic in the supermarket, as in the containers that contain all the food. Like if you go and buy chicken, or it'd be in a plastic bag in the fridge, or it'd be in a plastic container, or there'd be your pears or your bananas that are in plastic bags. Now, I'm pretty sure if you took all the plastic that we give out to customers and you melted that and you weighed that plastic, and then you went around all the shelves where all the food is, all that stuff, even other items that are wrapped up in plastic, for you to be able to carry and for it to be contained, I'm sure there's more plastic there. Now, the thing is like Friends of Earth saying, it's a small thing that's being done here with this 5-10p thing. But the thing is why is it government are charging us, the people, the 5-10p for the plastic bag, and not the manufacturers, not the people who make all these foods? It's not Tesco, it's not Sainsbury's. Well, some of it might be theirs, their own brand, and then they'll be responsible for that container. But what about Heinz and Procter & Gamble and whoever else that make products to sell to these supermarkets? What about charging them for using plastic bags, because they're using more plastic than we are as customers to carry the shopping home? But no, that won't happen, because that they're the manufacturers. Why would you charge them when you can charge us? Because we'll just have to do it, we've got no say in it, and you'll be able to generate more money from us. But the manufacturers, they're going to say, no, we can't do that because businesses might go away, or they might take their business elsewhere, or this, that, and the other excuse. It's just one of those things where it's always us that has to pay for these things, never the big manufacturers who have so much money that they make out of us. But then again, I don't know, what else would you put it in? This leads me to the next point, because I was watching Rebecca's Way and Flat Earth Dave. And it's really worrying, because they were talking about all the different poisons in food, how if you wrap things in plastic that the gases transfer to the foods, and lots of other different things. I mean, I've often thought about food, it is poison to the body. Everything that you eat, it has some effect to you, but unfortunately we have to eat. But it will, even I'm sure fruit and stuff like that, it'll still have some effect for you. With your insides, with your arteries, getting blocked over time, and all these things, the acids that's being made. So I don't know, I guess maybe some things are more dangerous than others, but I think food in general is like when you put petrol in a car, it keeps your car going, but I'm sure it damages the car eventually through time. But there's no other way. It's just part of our failing that our bodies have. Well, I don't know, I'm just speaking out of speculation really, isn't it? But it was just very worrying to hear all the different things that affect you, that are part of our... I mean, I know, like you see on the news as well, they talk about, red meat gives you cancer, and certain other processed meats give you high risk of cancer, and all these different types of things. There's loads of stuff out there, the water, all sorts of things that are actually, you know, and you wonder, like, how do they manage to sell these things to us, but we just carry on buying them because they just carry on selling them, I guess. They don't care about our well-being. All they care about is the money they make off of them. So yeah, that was, I don't know, it was just a little bit depressing in a way, because, you know, we all eat and it's difficult to get around all these things. And is there a solution to it? I don't know. So then I was playing on my YouTube, and I noticed that I actually did used to make it wasn't a podcast, it was a blog before. It was called The View, and I think it's about like 10 of them or something like that. And I was listening to the first one. These were made in 2008, 2009, and I was almost talking about the same thing as I have previously on these things about, you know, the world that we live in, and you know, who wields the power, and you know, why can't we change things? It's funny that I've been talking about this message for such a long time, and it still hasn't really changed. I've just added to it. And the last thing was about the way we see things. I saw this video on YouTube. My wife showed me. It was about how this man was, you know, asking his wife, "Oh, what have you been doing all day?" But in a list, it showed you beforehand all the stuff that she does as a home worker, as a stay-at-home mum, whatever you want to call it, as a parent. She was like making the sandwiches, cleaning up after people, you know, doing all this stuff, hours and hours and hours, getting up at night, feeding, all this stuff that's being done. And the only reason why, you know, that people don't see it as work is because there's no monetary value. If you employed a nanny to do the same thing, you'd say, yeah, that nanny works really hard. She's, you know, she's getting paid all this money. She's a nanny. But wait a minute, these, you know, the people who are parents at home, they're doing this all the time for free. They're looking after their children, they're looking after their husband and wife, all this stuff that's being done for free. But just because it doesn't have a monetary value, we think, oh, they're not doing anything. But it's sometimes harder to be at home looking after children than it is to go to work. And when you go to work, what do you get at the end of it? You don't, you know, you're working for somebody else. Whereas at least when you're at home and you're looking after kids, the thing you get is you see them smile. You know that you've made them grow. So yeah, it was a good video because it was showing how we as a species undervalue things that are done for free. And it just goes to show you that, you know, when I was talking about changing the world, would people do things for free? You know, well, yeah, it was already happening. Wives and husbands who stay at home are already doing those things for free, bringing up children. You don't get paid to bring up children. They do it for free. And it's, you know, a lot of people do a very good job at it. And they don't not do it because, you know, that there's no money involved or that they have to. They do it because they want to. So I think it probably is a fallacy to think that if we didn't have, you know, forced jobs and, you know, you have to do this, that and the other, that people wouldn't want to do things. I know I'd want to do things, and maybe I'd be able to do all the things that I really want to do because there won't be all these barriers that are in the way that stop you being able to do all these things, because there's so many people doing them already that don't really want to do them, where there's maybe people who want to do things that they can't because of that. So yeah, it just made me think about that. Anyway, bit of a ramble today. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless and peace.